Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Daily's 2A News. Today I want to come to you guys with proof that registration leads to confiscation. So for all those people out there that say registration is just a way to keep track of firearms in case they're used in crimes, no, it's not. Registration 100% leads to confiscation, and today I'm going to give you guys proof. So last night I get a text message from my friend Ray, who lives in California. He sends me a link to an Instagram story from The Truth About Guns. And in that story, it says that California agents are using the ammunition background check system to conduct raids on people who are found to be prohibited, removing their firearms and ammunition. Well, obviously that was pretty concerning to me, so I decided to read a little bit more into it. And that's when kind of my journey down the rabbit hole led me to all of this registration and confiscation and stuff like that. Obviously, I had already known this. We've already seen stories about this in the past. We've seen stories of people in California who, when the new assault weapons ban was put into place, they had to go through a registration process, and some people actually had their stuff confiscated as they were going through the process and so forth. So we already know this exists, but this kind of highlights what I'm talking about here today. So in California with the ammunition background check system, right now it's still over a 99% false positive. That means that over 99% of the people that go and get denied ammunition in California are actually perfectly legal to own firearms and ammunition in that state, but they're falsely identified as somebody who is prohibited. So the numbers, basically, you're looking at over 101,000 people right now who have been denied as false positives, and only 750 people who have shown to actually be a prohibited person. And if you do the numbers, that's less than 1% of the people who have been denied. Okay, so less than 1% right there. So that's already flawed. But California uses everything that they can to track you. The ammunition background checks, all the firearms registration that's out there, and basically everything else. And I have a story here that I want to read you guys where they actually say it out loud, that they want a national registration so that they can track guns and remove them from people. Now, let me just start off by saying, if you're watching this right now and you're a cop, because I know a lot of law enforcement watches my channel, and you would remove somebody of any of their civil liberties because you were just following orders, you shouldn't be a cop. You need to stop, you need to step back, you need to remember your oath, and you need to remember that you're a citizen just like us, okay? You're no different than us. You need to look at the Constitution, and you need to say whether or not an order that was given to you violates somebody's rights or not, and if it does, you need to step back and maybe even make a complaint about it. So, this has to start with those people that are enforcing it, because if there's nobody to enforce unconstitutional laws, then the laws are mute at that point. So I want to read to you guys this story. Again, this is The Truth. It was a link from The Truth About Guns that talks about it. So we have a quote here that's from Kamala Harris that says, "What do we do about the guns that are already in the hands of persons who by law are considered too dangerous to possess them?" Harris said in a letter to Vice President Joe Biden after a Connecticut school shooting in December. She recommended that Biden, heading a White House review of gun policy, consider a California national model. Okay, so you can already see the Democrats want California to be the national model, but why would they want that? As many as 200,000 people nationwide may no longer be qualified to own firearms, according to Garen Wintermute, director of the Violence Prevention Research Program at the University of California, Davis. Other states may lack confiscation programs. Okay, this is the line that I want you guys to pay attention to. Other states may lack confiscation programs because they don't track purchases as closely as California, which requires most weapon sales to go through a licensed dealer and be reported. So the other states that don't have registration may lack confiscation programs because they don't track the sale of firearms. Meaning, if they get their way, they'll have a national registration so that they can track firearms and have a confiscation program. It's right there in black and white. That was a direct quote. So the next time that somebody comes up to you, or you see in a video, or you hear in a blog or something like that, that we're not trying to take away your guns. We just want common sense reform, which includes universal background checks and registration. That's what you get out of those two things. So your common sense safety measures will turn 100%, 110%, will turn into confiscation, and that's proof. I mean, you have a Democrat leader right there talking to somebody who's in charge of a program that the Democrats listen to, coming out of UC Davis. Registration leads to confiscation. And if you ever have an argument with a family member or somebody else who says, no, that's not the case at all, go to the Truth About Guns. Find that article. As a matter of fact, I'll link it down below so you can actually show them yourself, and go ahead and read them that line so that when they say that, you actually have an argument to back up. Because yes, it 100% does. But I just wanted to point that out to you guys. It's very disturbing what's going on in California. They're using ammunition background checks to track people, to take away their firearms. It's so far just those people who have actually been proven to be prohibited. But who knows? There's always mistakes, right? And we know what these raids lead to. They lead to more problems that they should. They lead to more conflict than they should. They lead to worse outcomes than they should. Whenever somebody, shows up at somebody's house and tries to remove their rights from them, the outcome is almost always going to be bad. So this is something that we have to try and get on top of. We have to try and stop. And I think the only way that that's ever going to happen in California, honestly, is if the leaders that are doing this are removed and replaced with people who can repeal it. That's what I think needs to happen. And so people that are on the side of the Constitution and on the side of freedom need to show up, not 70%, 60%, or 50% like in a lot of past elections, or even less, to be honest with you. They need to show up 100%. And if you don't, well, this is going to be your new normal. This is what's going to be like in California from now on. If you don't vote, nothing's ever going to change. Anyway, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and have a great day.